Hello, this is Homesteading Northwest Florida, HSNWFL, and today is Saturday, September 11th, I think it is, at about 2:30 p.m. in the afternoon, and it's not 98 degrees here anymore. And so I have this lawnmower here, and it's a Remington RM310. And it is model number 12ACZM5883, and it's a great lawnmower. I've used it, I bag stuff and then add the grass clippings to my compost pile, so I do use the bagger, which is there. So anyhow, it stopped doing its self-propel. It's a rear wheel drive self-propel. Here's the little transmission in here. There it is. And you can, that transmission, I looked it up, was $107. But, and then I changed the belt, which I believe, and I sharpened my blade. I just take an angle grinder, sharpen that. But I believe that they're recommending the wrong belt. So I looked it up, and it said on the belt, it did say 754-04282, but you could barely read it. Let's see if I can read it on here. But you know how these old belts get. What do we got here? Here it is. There it is. There's the old belt. And it seems to be the similar number, but it was not actuating the transmission anymore. I checked the cable, I did a lot of stuff, the cable may be stretched out, so I tried shortening it by adding a different spring. Yeah, I don't have a fancy table to do this on either. But what I found out was that I think the belt that they recommend is too long. You know, so I tried the belt that they recommend, and it seemed to be even longer than my original belt. So I went to my steel dealership that also fixes lawnmowers, and see, here's where the transmission is too, underneath this cover. Don't get me a fly. Okay. Yeah, underneath this cover is the transmission, and it's got like a belt guide that you got to remove these two bolts in here. Let's see if I can show you. You got to remove the two bolts on this side, the two little bolts right there. And you got to remove this cable, and then you can get the belt on. And you remove your blade and your baffle, or belt guide like baffle that's underneath the mower on this Remington, and you remove this loop off of this back of this cable, and this whole belt guide like pivots off of there. I'm trying to show you with a light, but the belt seemed to be too long and it wasn't actuating. So I went into my dealership here, and they sold me this belt, this 954-0142, and now I put that belt on. It was shorter, it was also a little wider, so maybe my pulleys are worn out. I don't know what it could be, but and then here's the cover that goes on the transmission here. You just got to remove one bolt, and that bolt is out. Oh, great, biting flies. Okay. Yeah, so here's the belt that I eventually did use. You can try this other one, this 754, but if you can see now, when I actuate the handle, let's see if I can get a light in there. One moment. When you actuate the handle, which I'm doing at the top, the belt actually tightens and engages. can see that. There we go. It's still gonna rub on that belt guide, and that can wear out too, that under the baffle, and it's like a metal guide on the baffle. You'll see when you start taking it apart. But I couldn't find any videos about this whole deal. And these are the two screws that you remove. This one and that one. And then this whole belt guide, belt retainer comes off. Or it pivots out of the way with this pivot right here. So alright, it's working now because I started it. But just letting you know, you may need that belt right there instead of the one that they recommend. I don't know whether, but see how it does actuate now? The transmission will actuate the shorter belt. Alright, thanks so much for watching. Thank you.